Bob Kravitz of WTHR Channel 13 in Indianapolis. He's here live on the Rich Eisen Show. Bob, what'd you think of the press conference?
I think he's a better writer than I am, and it really bothers me. It was just beautifully constructed, beautifully, presented. It was just really, really nice, and, you got the typical Peyton humor, you got the emotion, and you really felt the love and reverence that he has for the game and, his sense of history and where he belongs in that history.
And so you're in your open letter that you wrote to him on the website WTHR.com. You kind of gave up some stuff he didn't really ever want you to give up, right, Bob?
Nah, not really. Many years ago, we had a young boy who was badly injured in a skateboard accident, and Peyton called me and asked if I had the family's number and said, "Hey, would you mind if I gave them a call and lent them to my support and whatever else I can do?" And we're getting off the phone. He says, "Hey, don't write that." So I did. I just thought, I didn't at the time. I've been holding it for about 12 years, but I didn't think that I didn't think you would mind it, because it just shows, that's the kind of thing he did all the time. That for all you hear about the Payback Foundation and the Peyton Manning's Children's Hospital, there's, you can write an opus on, or a novel and all the other things that he has done without the glare of the spotlight.
Bob Kravitz, WTHR.com columnist, longtime Indy Star reporter who's been around Peyton Manning for some time here on the Rich Eisen Show. So who is Peyton Manning? Because, there's all the stuff that's come out in the last 3-4 weeks and 2 months that has truly tarnished the name of Peyton Manning for a lot of fans, coast to coast, and a lot of New England fans, Bob, who you know probably firsthand.
I know very well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it tarnishes the image very much. I think this is a short-term deal. Unless some thunderbolt, something comes out about, the HGH investigation, which is going to be very, very difficult to really pursue, or, something comes out of this latest lawsuit at the University of Tennessee. I think this is going to be a kind of a blip. If you're a fan who just doesn't like him and think that he's too contrived or whatever, you're just not going to like him no matter what. But I think, generally speaking, yes, he's a flawed human being like we all are. He's made some mistakes. But I think, generally speaking, he is who you think he is.
And that is what?
Just an all-time great athlete who has done truly marvelous things, not only for the cities where he plied his trade, but all over the country, and has reached out to those in need, and been a great public servant, I think, while being one of the great quarterbacks of all time.
Why didn't he do this today in Indianapolis, you think, Bob?
Well, look, first of all, he is going to come back to Indy. We just reported that he is going to come back to Indianapolis on the 18th and do they're going to have a celebration for Peyton, which I think is very, very cool and appropriate. And, so it suggests to me that any bruised feelings that there might have been after he was let go have dissipated to a great degree. I think he wants to reach out to the fans here and give them a chance to say goodbye. And I think that's awesome. But it made sense to do it.
What's that going to look like? I
don't know. I think they're still putting it together. Look, it's not going to happen right away, but I firmly believe that if you're going to build a statue to any athlete outside of a stadium, it needs to be Peyton Manning. And that's not going to happen here in 2 weeks unless they find a really quick sculptor. But I think it'll be a lot of pomp and circumstance and a lot of emotion, and we'll take it from there. But I think they should build a statue.
Bob Kravitz of Channel 13 in Indianapolis joining us here. Last question for you here, Bob. What do you think he does next? What years from now we'll be talking about at Peyton Manning is what?
I think he will be a part owner, quite possibly, of the Tennessee Titans. That's not any inside information, but that's what all the talk has been. I think over time he will become a general manager. And, I could see him doing TV, and I think he'd be fabulous at TV. But I think he wants skin in the game. I think he still wants to be inside the game. So I think I can see him in ownership and in a GM capacity.
Yeah, I think he saw firsthand what Elway's been doing, and I think
absolutely
that's what he'd like to do. But at an ownership level also, right?
Absolutely. I think he can afford it.
Bob, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. And great column.
Hey, thank you, Rich.
Great column.
Appreciate it.
You bet. At B. Kravitz on Twitter.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.